So, week 3, day 1, we have 2 rather than 4 relating. Let's unpack that. So the 2 and 4 are relating to responsibility. Am I responsible to this person, or am I responsible for this person? Those of you guys familiar with kind of codependency language or boundaries language will probably resonate with this pretty quickly if you have some exposure to that. If not, this might come as a little bit of a surprise that there's more than one way to do it. That's certainly how I encountered it for the first time when I kind of heard this synthesis of these ideas. God, I remember even being kind of pissed, like that what I was doing wasn't working, and now I had some reasons why. So on the one hand, I felt some freedom from that, but on the other, like I felt really frustrated because I was like, why aren't these games that I'm playing working? So let me give you some examples, kind of how we can start to parse these apart in our mind and how we can start to intentionally engage in 2 relating rather than 4 relating. So I like this formula. When I believe I'm responsible for someone else, I struggle to tolerate distress or discomfort in others. That's a good red flag to pay attention to. If it's really hard to sit with people that are struggling, and of course it's just naturally hard to do this, right? But if our mind is wandering, we're starting to squirm, we're starting to feel really uncomfortable, that's a really good sign that maybe our posture is a little bit off. I take other people's behavior personally. I was super guilty of that one. Everything is about me all of the time, throughout time and space and everything. And I get really caught up in that. So that's one of my flags, that when I see that one going, I go, okay, I need a slight adjustment here. I secretly, or even not so secretly, believe that others need me to intervene or else they won't be able to make it. I resent others. I feel guilty or bad when I say no. No is a crucial term here. What is it like to say no? If I could distill this into just one question, it would probably be that. Can you say no? Are there relationships where you can say no? What's different about those than the relationships where you don't feel as much power to say no? I don't feel free or in charge of my own life. That is a really good red flag to pay attention to. I feel compelled. Excuse me, getting choked up here. I feel compelled, obligated, and manipulated. I don't think I need to say much more. We've all been there. We've all felt that. You might even be feeling that right now. So let's take a quick jump over to greener pastures here and look at responsible for. So when I believe I'm when I believe I'm responsible to someone else, it might not be easy, but I can manage the stress or discomfort of others. I allow others' behaviors to interact with me, but I don't take it personally. I believe I can support, I can guide, I can encourage others, but that they have what they need to make it on their own. I can say yes or no based on my values, preferences, and opinions. I feel connected, open, and curious. God, just reading that out loud, I'm like, man, that sounds like a lot of freedom that I might not be taking advantage of right now. And so even as we're going over this, I'm right there with you. I need to kind of look at this again and see, because I feel much more resonant with the 4 consequences rather than the 2 consequences. So I'm going to be looking over this week. Again, there's some examples to really hone in on kind of the same situation from either of the postures. That really helps unpack it. So if you're having questions about what it looks like, really consult those. And then we've just got some questions that'll dive right into that. So this one, I'm trying to think of past folks who have really been influenced by this one. We've had like moments, especially in recapping this, like people saying like, this like changed how I looked at everything. Like I didn't realize how consistently I was feeling responsible for people and how much I was facing those consequences of resentment, of obligation, of not feeling like I can say no, feeling like my time isn't my own or my life isn't my own. So if that's you, I hope this gives you a lot of freedom. And if not, dig in and maybe approach it a slightly different way. Again, if you guys have questions, always feel free to ask.